Hey everybody, Jam Creates here. Do another comic book review. This time we have got dun 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 Volume 2, Issue 1 of Blood Realm. Blood Realm was a 3-issue limited series that came out last year, which was freaking awesome. And now we've got Volume 2. This is another 3-issue limited series. This one is called Shadowed Kingdom, Part 1. The other one, I forget what the subtitle was. Oh well, that would have been a good thing to probably research before doing this video. That's okay. You guys expect that level of research from me. So anyway, this is from Alterna Comics. This is Robert Geronimo. It is a one-man show on this book. Yes, it is a rated M, so it is a scary, violent book, dark, creepy. Robert Geronimo does all the work on this book by himself, which is pretty cool. The first series I thoroughly enjoyed, and I wholeheartedly recommend if you did not read Blood Realm Volume 1. It's 3 issues, $1.50 each. Go get them. Go find them somewhere if you have to. I don't know if they're available digitally. If they are, they're probably 99 cents each digitally. I would definitely recommend going out and checking those suckers out because it's really cool. The first issue, I mean, everyone can probably remember the one complaint I had with the first issue of the first series, if you watched that video, was that it was super lore heavy and not a lot happened. This book does not have that problem. We start off, if you don't know, Blood Realm is always black, white, and red. Everything is black and white with red. There's no other colors. That is strictly what it is. And this story takes place concurrently, I believe, with the story that takes place in the first series. So you don't have to have read the first series to understand what's happening here, which is cool. So you could just jump in on this one if you missed the first one, and that's okay. I just would recommend reading the first one because it's really good, not because you're missing out on anything. So what I would say is, if you want to just jump in here and then go back and read the other one, you could do that. And like I said, it takes place concurrently, I believe. So we have a voyage of... I always mess up saying their name. They're Satyrians. I think that's how you say it, right? Satyrians, I think. Satrian warriors are sent to go find. Apparently, there was what's it called? There was a legion called the Scorn Legion. They were the highest order of Satrian warriors, and they went missing at one point. So they send General Gorn, who's the guy in charge of the Satrian army, who is the big bad in the original series. He is sending his men to go track down this thing, and its story is being told from this group of missing soldiers, and the story is being told really from the perspective of someone in the crew. They have to go to this place called the Hollow Fortress. It was at one time a giant fortress for humans until eventually, apparently, the human forces were destroyed by Commander Ulfar and the Satrian fleet. But then the fleet never came, they never came back. The battalion never came back after that. And so the narration is being done, like, he introduces you to the crew. The narration is being done by Olek, who is this, like, magician. And then they talk about how it was, he's from the Ember province and how it's mandatory for a magician to be assigned to every unit. It's just the way they do things. And, so then they talk a little bit about how that happened and how they joined with them. And then so they arrive at this Hollow Fortress. They make their way in. And obviously something's not right here, because when you see heads on pikes, that's usually not a good sign. And it's one of the first times where we're sort of introduced to magicians, I guess, in this world. I mean, obviously magic and things like that exist. We've got all kinds of fantastical creatures and stuff. If you read the first story, I don't know what the sisters were, but they're clearly some sort of magic beings or whatever. So he has Olek turn the light on, and then what the heck? Yeah. Pile of Satrian bodies and that thing on top. And then it turns out there's more to the story. The thing attacks and they're fighting it, and it turns out there's actually more to the story. Their commander fights this thing, and believe it or not, it actually starts speaking. You can see the artwork obviously is so unique with Blood Realm. Everything about Blood Realm is very unique. The story, the setting. I know it's a dark fantasy world, and we've seen that before, but the way that it's done and the different beings and everything is just, it's very different. It's very unique. The art style, I said this about the first series, and I'll say it about this one too. They remind me of like carvings almost. Like they sort of remind me of like ancient carvings that you would see that are telling the story, like wood carvings or ancient tapestries or something that are telling these stories. And the creature, turns out the creature actually is one of the Satrians, and he was transformed into this thing. And so I'm going to skip a little bit. And then they find this giant hole. And they decide, like, they're looking at this thing and they're like, he tells them basically, like, there was an evil down there, and that's what basically did this to all of them, to the whole battalion. And they decide finally, like, they're staring there over it, and then finally we enter the pit. Now, to me, I don't know if I'd be doing that, but, you know, if they probably just said, nah, we're out, turn around, go home, the series would be over already, and that would be kind of short. So I understand we need to move on. And then one thing that they like to do, that Robert Geronimo likes to do, is he likes to at the end of his books, he always gives you some more lore. So if you're into Blood Realm, which I am very much into Blood Realm, this gives you all this other lore. And I know, like, some people are really like anti big pages full of text in a comic book, because if you wanted to read that, you just read a book, not a comic book. I get that, but at the same time, like, it's not required reading. You don't have to read it. It's not gonna affect your understanding of the story in like a necessary way, but it will affect your understanding of the story in just terms of understanding the world better, and that sort of thing. So I appreciate it. I like it. It just shows how much thought he's put into the world of Blood Realm, and how much more there could be for us to see from this world. Like, even when because this is, the first series was only 3 issues. This series is only 3 issues. I have to believe he's got to have a third series planned, and maybe even beyond, because there's so much world and so much more that they could explore here and show us. And the other thing that I like, because I'm just a sucker for this sort of stuff, is the maps. He always gives you maps, and I love that. I'm just a sucker for a cool fantasy map. That's just me. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. If you do, then you'll appreciate it, because they always have them in here. But for me, I love it. Like, and you can see there's the Hollow Fortress, which is where we're at right now in the story. And if you remember, if I believe correctly, the previous story was taking place partly here in the Eyeless Canyons. I believe that's where the dragon was, and Vorgoth. I believe this was, and then there's all this rest of this world here too. Like, there's, here's Satria down here, and all this, I don't know what this is. The Isle of the Accursed, Dragon Summit. There's the Ember Province, where they mentioned in this story where the magicians come from. The Sea of Woe. Unless, of course, you're Joey Lawrence, then it's the Sea of Woe. The Isle of Ghoul. Like, everything has the Ashen Forest. Everything has these terrible names. The Forbidden Desert. Like, why would you go anywhere? Like, honestly, just stay home. Don't go anywhere. If you live in the world of Mordrin, the lands of Mordrin, just stay home. Don't go anywhere. It's not safe. Everything is named like something that wants to kill you. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you enjoy it, please let me know. I am absolutely wholeheartedly recommending Blood Realm. Robert Geronimo earned a lot of goodwill with me with his first series because it was so good and I enjoyed it so much that I was hyped for this before I even got it. As soon as I knew it was coming, I was hyped. So definitely I would recommend checking it out. You don't need to read the first one to read this one, which is really smart the way it's done. And again, $150, and it's only a 3-issue series. So, I mean, you're literally talking $450. That's like the price of one Marvel comic book. You can get the entire series. Obviously, this whole series is not out yet, but even the first series is only 3 issues. So for $450, you could literally get the entire first series, and then for another $1.50, so $5.50, $6, you could get all the first series and the first issue of the second of volume 2. Like, you can't go wrong with that, man. Like, that's bang for your buck for sure. Entertainment dollars are, things are expensive nowadays, and that's the way to go, man. And it's good stuff. So anyway, Robert, if you're watching, you nailed it again. I love the world. I'm hooked. I'm in. I can't wait to see more. You had me before you even put this book out because I love the first series so much. But anyway, that's my recommendation. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, share it with your enemies. If you don't like the video, show everybody and tell them how much you hate it, but they definitely should watch it like 5 times and click the like button anyway. And they should subscribe too, because that's what you do. So anyway, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at jam_creates. I'm also on Instagram. Yeah, I'm on the gram. I'm Jam Creates on the gram as well. I don't remember if the underscore's there or not. I'm too tired. I've been so sick. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. And let's do it over this crazy, like, screaming face here. Plow. Peace out.